Hey you guys, what's up? My name is Asia May and thank you so much for joining me today. If you guys are new here, I talk all things business, personal finance, and entrepreneurship here on my channel. So if any of that interests you, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button down below if I earn your subscription by the end of the video, as well as hit that notification bell so you know every time I post 2 new videos every week. Most importantly, you guys, please go ahead, hit the like button. It really helps a lot to grow the channel. It helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm so YouTube knows that this information is valuable and they want to go ahead and put it in front of a greater audience. In today's video, we have a very special guest that we are going to be interviewing for my Money Monday segments. So for those of you that don't know, Money Monday is a segment that I have almost every single Monday on my channel where I bring on self-made millionaires and business entrepreneurs. So I wanted to have this segment on my channel just as a different way for people to learn from other people who are doing things in the businesses that maybe they're interested in, or just if you're curious about different areas of business. She's a dear friend of mine that I have had since high school, and I wanted to interview her because she has an amazing small business that she started during quarantine, and it just goes to show you guys, no matter what, you could do anything that you want as long as you set your mind to it. Without further ado, guys, here is my friend, and we're doing a virtual interview, so we're not here together, obviously, but this is my friend Amanda Newman. Say hi, Amanda.
Hi, Asia. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on this show.
For sure. Thank you for coming on. So it's a little weird, you guys, because we're talking to each other on the phone with our AirPods in, but we're looking at our own respective cameras. But we're gonna give this a whirl. Virtual life, you know, we're getting used to it. But yeah, okay. Let's just start. We'll give this a whirl and we'll see how it goes. So many things that I want to ask you today, Amanda, and we're going to keep this a little bit more casual than other videos just to kind of play around with the style. But to start off, can you just give us a brief background about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Amanda Newman. During the day, I'm a 4th grade elementary school teacher. Started, as Asia said, as you said, I've been working on building up a small business, and my business is I do pet portraits for people. So whether it's a dog, a cat, a turtle, those are the turtle is probably the craziest animal I've done. Not crazy, but the most unique. And just send me a photo, and I will do a portrait. And then on top of just sending a JPEG, I'll also send prints, or I do other merch as well. Like mugs, t-shirts like I'm wearing right now, and things like that.
And also, you guys, I have some of Amanda's portraits here. I had this one commissioned for my little, and it's adorable 2 French bulldogs, as well as this is Amanda's dog, Toby, who inspired all of this to kind of come into place. Actually, kind of leading into that, what kind of inspired you using this as like a small little segue to start your business?
So I've done art for a really long time. I think I started, in 8th grade, just in art class, and I've always just loved crafting and anything like that. And I've always wanted to, make a business out of it and somehow monetize it in any way possible. And I used to have my Instagram. I had an art Instagram, and I would just post, things I was painting, but there wasn't really any unifying theme. And I would just write like DM if you want to commission me for anything. But as soon as I kind of just randomly got this idea of like, I'm going to take a picture of Toby and then paint it on my iPad and see what happens. And I kind of used this block kind of style by blocking the colors together a lot. And as soon as I did it, I was like, this is such an easy thing to do for anybody's pets, as long as they can send me at least a semi-good photo. And so I just posted that thing about Toby, and eventually it kind of caught on, and I've done probably almost 200 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How did you decide that this was a niche that you wanted to get into with the pet portraits? Like, obviously you got the inspiration from Toby, but what made you decide that this was the niche and also the business that you could make money from?
So I think it happened right at the start of quarantine, right when schools shut down, and I didn't really know what direction we were going to go in with schools. We didn't really know, like, are we going to be teaching full time still, but virtually? Right. In the first couple of weeks, we really didn't have anything to do aside from just check in with our kids' families. And I was thinking, man, like, I wish with this time I could be doing art for people. And so I got the idea to post on my art Instagram saying, anybody, the first 5 people who message me asking for a pet portrait, I will do it for $10. And I was kind of just nervous that no one would even want to, but within like 5 minutes, I had all 5 people. And that was just like the greatest feeling ever, that people, it was only $10, but to me it felt like so much that someone was willing to like actually Venmo me money for me to do art for them. And even after those 5 like spots got taken up, people were willing to pay the full price, which I had in the moment decided would be $20. And so that's kind of how it started.
So what made you kind of decide from there that you wanted to pursue it while in quarantine? Like, what made you decide to keep going and not just stop after getting the first, couple customers?
I just loved it. Like I said, I've been wanting to kind of monetize my art in some way for a long time. And I really love pets. I really love working with other people. I love the digital art aspect. I hadn't had that much experience with digital art before then. And it just was it's just still like a crazy good feeling when people are willing to pay me for art. Like, I don't even care. I mean, at this point now that I've been doing it for a while, I'm like, okay, I definitely want to make some more money so I can put it back into the business. But for so long, anytime someone Venmos me, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're Venmoing me for me to make you art? Like, okay, cool.
Wait, real quick, just a quick question to add in there. What is your Instagram, just so people can check out your artwork as well as your website?
Oh, yes. Very good point. My Instagram is Miss Manda, like MISSMANDA, and then pet portraits.
Okay, there we go. Little plug right there for you. So yeah, you guys,
Miss Manda Pet.
Definitely go check out her artwork. As you can see right here in the background, it is absolutely amazing. I had a mug of Toby as well in my apartment in Boston, and she does amazing work. So go ahead, check her out.
You also don't have to have a pet. I don't only do customs. I've also been doing some other cute, kind of more general pet-themed art or animal-themed art. So even if you don't have a pet you want me to paint, definitely still check that out because there's something for everyone.
Right, exactly. I saw the turtle too. There's been a few other non-dog portraits too.
Yes, yeah, I'll do any animal, honestly. I think I've done a bunny too. Yeah, I've done a bunny.
How long does it usually take you to do each one?
It depends. It's kind of crazy because when I first started it would take me like 2 to 3 hours for each one.
Okay.
But the other day I crazily did one in 25 minutes, which was a record for me. But on average, it'll take me usually about an hour.
So kind of to segue on top of that too. So how are you balancing being able to be a teacher and doing everything online and then also doing your side business?
Yeah, so that's definitely been something I've been navigating since we went back to school a couple of weeks ago. I definitely do not have all day to be working on Miss Manda Pet Portraits related work, although I really love working on it. What I had to do first was raise my prices for custom portraits because I just, I was getting, and it was such a privilege to be able to do this, but I was getting like 2 or 3 a day, 2 or 3 orders a day, and I just could not keep up, and I wanted to make sure that I could get them done in a timely fashion. So the first thing was raise my prices to kind of decrease demand a bit. So now I'm just doing kind of a few a week. And then I'm also trying to work with that extra time, some of that extra time I have from not working on customs. So on top of, increasing my prices to kind of decrease demand, I'm also trying to make more general things that kind of an ordinary person might want to buy even if it's not custom. So I've been working on making like cute t-shirts, cute mugs, that are just more representative of my brand as a whole rather than only doing customs.
So right now, can I go to your website and just get a portrait that someone did custom and then just like get a print of it?
So I do have some of those. Any portrait I've done that's on there, I've asked permission if I can reuse it. And you can do that, but I'm working more towards getting kind of more fun collections. So maybe you have a corgi. I've done a portrait of a corgi. You can get that. But also maybe you really think corgi butts are like super cute and funny. You can get a mug that's themed about corgi butts. That's kind of making a joke about corgi butts.
Okay, if that does happen, I would think, I think quite a few people will love that, as well as I know you make stickers too.
Yeah, I've been making stickers. I have some on my water bottle. I made this one. This is Dash.dog. This is Good Boy Ron. These are all kind of people I've become friends with since since I began all of this, but I've been trying to kind of make cute, make stickers that, again, anybody might want to buy, but the custom stickers have also been pretty popular.
So kind of going on top of what you just said about making friends in the community, how would you describe your clientele? Like, who is your target market and how do you really reach them?
Yeah, I love my target market. So pretty much everyone that follows me is either a friend or a dog account. So it's a lot of owners who really love their dogs, and they make accounts for them, and they have real fans. Like, they have diehard fans who will, like, they're obsessed with other people's dogs. And honestly, I never understood it before, but I really understand it now. Like, good boy Ron, this dog, he's just so cute, and I just like want to meet him. So yeah, that's definitely my main clientele, especially for customs. Because if you love your dog enough to make an Instagram for your dog, you probably love your dog enough to buy a custom painting of him or her. But yeah, it's such a friendly community, honestly. Just everyone's spreading love, and yeah, I wish I had a dog right now so that I would have an excuse to like meet up with these people, but someday soon I will.
I just wanted to ask a little bit too more about like the business side of things, because this is a business channel, but yeah, I'm very intrigued because when I came to your house, what was it, like a month or two back, we were talking a little bit more about like the whole process of this. So how would you kind of describe your business model and like how you kind of reach everyone?
Yeah, so my business model right now is mostly consumer facing. So I make custom portraits for people. I make individual mugs or t-shirts that somebody might want to buy. I mostly promote that through Instagram, just with my Instagram, building it up, talking to people, posting about what I do, making connections and things like that. And then I do have my website, which is missmandapetportraits.com, same as my Instagram, just .com. And so that's a place where you can kind of shop, see some of the things that I'm offering, and then also kind of get more information about customs. That being said, most of my communication is through Instagram or email. I don't really, communicate that much through my website unless you're sending me an email on that page. So yeah, right now it's mostly just kind of doing customs and then a few print-on-demand items as well. But I'm hoping eventually to transition more to kind of wholesale and more print-on-demand rather than just custom work.
Okay, very nice. So how does it work? What website do you use to kind of host everything for yourself, and how does that all work logistically?
Yeah, so I had started out with, by building my own website, and it was okay. You had a lot of freedom, but it just ended up being way too complicated for me to be able to manage, to be honest. So I switched over to Shopify, which has been really great. It's very simple and easy to set up. You just gotta watch a few videos. That's the other thing, is like just watching YouTube videos has taught me everything that I could ever have needed to know. Like how to make a Shopify page, Google it or look it up on YouTube and it shows me. So yeah, I just use Shopify, change up the collections every once in a while. I'm definitely still working on seeing what's gonna best work, because honestly, Instagram has been my most successful medium, right. But I would love for the website to also be more of a business generator for me.
So kind of going on top of that too, with the whole aspect of Instagram, do you do paid advertisements on Instagram, or is it all kind of organically through the clients that repost you?
Yeah, the biggest advertisement is just other people reposting my work. And what I did at the beginning was, on top of doing customs for friends or just people who hadn't heard of me much but were willing to take a risk on me, I would message kind of more famous 15K, 20K accounts that I thought had really adorable dogs, and I would offer to do a free portrait for them, and then they would often repost it, and that got me a really strong foundation for a following. So that was kind of a really big advertisement for me, and that only required me to do, you know, an hour to 2 hours worth of work instead of actually paying money up front. I've tried boosting some posts, but that doesn't really, I'm not really, like I'm definitely passively trying to grow my Instagram just for, you know, the reputation, I guess, as an artist. But I'm more so focused on like making relationships and getting sales. So boosting Instagram posts hasn't been super helpful, but I have been working on figuring out Facebook ads as a way of promoting my actual products. And I've still been kind of figuring my way, or figuring that out as I go, because it's kind of a complicated process. The other thing is, like, I don't think a lot of people know that Facebook ads, they also advertise on Instagram because Facebook owns Instagram. So it kind of is Instagram ads, but it's all through Facebook.
Definitely. I like how you mentioned too that you found everything that you needed to know here on YouTube. Like, I feel like I preach about that a lot on my channel, how honestly, even as someone who went to like a top 30 business school, I felt like I learned mostly everything on YouTube. So it just kind of goes to show people that it's all here. You just got to subscribe down below and hit the like button, you know?
Yeah, really though. Like every part, whether it came to you know, learning how to make stickers, or learning how to do Facebook ads, literally all of it is just YouTube.
So in terms of things like items like your stickers and your mugs, do you produce everything by yourself in your home, or do you export some of the responsibilities out to a third party?
Yeah, so the only things I do on my own are the portraits, of course, and then I make the prints. I have my printer right here, and I also make the stickers. I have my Cricut right here as well. So I make those all on my own, and then anything like a mug, a t-shirt, a tote bag, a phone case. Here's also a phone case, just for anyone who's curious. So all of those I go through a company called Printful, and they do print on demand. So you can order in bulk, of course, and you'll get a small discount, but it's also really reasonably priced just to get a few custom items for somebody.
Can you walk me kind of through the process of what happens when a customer places an order and then you then make the portrait and then getting it to the third party to make a mug? Can you kind of walk us through?
Yeah, totally. So it kind of depends. If it's a custom, they've usually either emailed me and paid me directly. So let's say a mug, I charge $25, it costs me $15 to make it. They will have paid me $50 for the portrait and $25 for the mug. So they'll have paid me $75. After I'm finished, I'll put it on the mug, make sure they love it, and then I will just buy the mug and send it to them through Printful. If they ordered something that is kind of pre-made that I'm selling on my website, it's a bit simpler. They just buy it and through Shopify, and then Printful actually is connected to Shopify, so Shopify will automatically place the order with Printful using the money that the customer paid, and Printful will make it, send it out, and then I will also get the rest of the money from Shopify.
Shopify seems to be like the best place to definitely, if you're hosting a storefront where you're going to be selling a service or an item. So does Shopify help a lot in terms of like your personal accounting for your business as well? And like, how do you kind of manage that?
Yeah, so it's definitely a very organized interface. So it allows you even to, like, let's say they didn't order something from Printful and they ordered something from me, I can buy a shipment label right there from Shopify, and it's for USPS. I haven't done that because I'm usually only mailing prints or stickers, and I can just write the address on myself and take it to the post office. But I'm definitely looking into seeing if that can be a cheaper option. But on top of that, it's a really easy way of like marking when things are there. It'll automatically send the tracking to the customer. I know that they also I get a lot of emails from them about, ways to boost your Shopify store and things like that. I'm trying to focus on one thing at a time. So right now, my main focus has been Facebook ads, but I'm definitely interested in getting into like SEO and other things like that to help the website itself.
Very nice. All right. And then, so how do you deal with all of your own accounting with the business? Do you have a spreadsheet? Do you use QuickBooks maybe, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I just have everything on a spreadsheet. So I keep track of the cost or how much the customer paid me, the item they purchased, how many. I definitely keep track of how long it takes me to complete each thing. So that kind of helps me calculate my hourly wage technically that I'm making. And then I'll also have a little button where I click, finished or not finished, and then paid or not paid, and then also the date that I do finish it. And then in addition to that, if I'm using an address to send, or if somebody ordered a physical product, I have another document where I keep all the addresses. So that helps me when I'm packing things up to ship. I can just go down the list and make sure that I've included every physical item that needs to be included. And then once I'm done with that, I have an archive for all of that information, so that I can only have the most recent items on that document that I'm working on.
Do you feel as though having the spreadsheet is the most efficient for you, or have you looked into other applications? Because it seems like there's like a spreadsheet and some other things for archiving, and what are you thinking with that?
Yeah, I honestly haven't even thought of finding another application. I didn't even think that there could be something. I think especially now that I'm only doing a few customs a week, I think this spreadsheet is perfectly fine, just because I can even mentally keep track of what I have going on generally. But definitely if it ever picks up more, if I start to make this a full-time gig, then I probably would have to look into something else.
Okay. Interesting. So how do you kind of deal with issues where maybe one of your vendors doesn't have a mug in stock or something like that? How do you kind of deal with the logistics with getting it to the customer and keeping them happy?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't had significant issues. At the height of a couple months ago, my vendor wasn't making any print-on-demand t-shirts, and so I honestly just couldn't offer them. That was that. On top of that, they were definitely delayed with some orders, like mugs and things, but I would just let the customer know, like, if you want it, great, but it might take about a month to get there. And that hasn't really been an issue. I did have one issue with shipping to Brazil, actually, because there was a miscommunication, and I didn't realize that apparently if you're shipping to Brazil, you can only ship using USPS. If the package is coming from anywhere else, the person may not get the package. And somebody had ordered like a couple, almost over $100 worth of items, and then they were like, "Where are they? I don't know where they are." And so I sent her the tracking, and she was like, "Oh, this is not good. I'm never gonna get this. I thought you were sending it with USPS." And I had just had no idea that was gonna be the issue. She ended up getting them, very luckily. It did take probably about 2 months. She did get them though, but that was definitely something I need to look out for.
Because I talked to you about this before, but I'm starting my own online boutique, so like all these cute clothes that I wear, it'll be available for everyone. But so do you still continue to ship internationally, or have you kind of decided after that experience that maybe it's not logistically the best move?
So when I'm ordering through Printful, the price generally doesn't change no matter where in the world I'm shipping. Most of my customers are in the United States, just because I'm mostly advertising on Instagram, and that's the people who find me. I do have some in England and some in Australia, and then a couple other countries. But when you're shipping to pretty much anywhere, it works. I think Brazil was a special case. I'm not sure about other countries that might be having issues with the post office. But yeah, and on top of that, like shipping internationally, it hasn't been too much of a problem. Like the USPS is pretty good about it. They're very clear on their, USPS. They're very clear on their website about what you need to do. I just printed out some customs forms, a lady at the post office gave me extra customs forms to just include whenever I'm mailing something. But usually if I'm mailing something internationally, I will try my best to use printable to do it.
Kind of to go along with that too, so I know that she ended up getting her prints at the end, but how do you deal with unhappy customers, and what has this business really taught you about giving like customer service?
Yeah, so it's definitely helped me become better at balancing the idea that the customer is always right, and then also the idea that, you know, I'm an artist and I'm putting a lot of time and effort into this and doing my absolute best to be communicative about what's going on. So with her, she luckily got them, but I did feel bad because she had thought I would be sending them through USPS, so I think I might have given her a refund. I think overall I definitely don't want to leave any bad tastes in anyone's mouth, especially as like an up-and-coming artist, or as like a budding artist. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, so but on top of that, usually customers are super, super kind and like grateful about the work and everything, so I haven't had too many issues. I think sometimes customers will get very, very picky about small details, and I'm happy to fix whatever they want. Usually it's just a couple, you know, messages back and forth. I think there are some times when I do have to kind of like put my foot down. I've had a couple of times when a customer will send me a few photos. I'll say, this photo looks best, what do you think? And they'll say, great, I'll do it. And then they'll say, actually, can we do this photo instead? And yeah, I mean, that's all that hour or two in the trash, and then also adding another hour. So that's usually the one time I'll say no, especially because we are communicating about what photo is best. But aside from that, I'll change the background colors, I'll send samples of everything. Especially when you're paying me the price that I charge for a custom work, I definitely want to give people their money's worth and make sure that they love it. If it takes an extra 15, 20, 30 minutes, that's okay with me, as long as they're happy and they'll come back or they'll refer somebody else.
Now that you've been doing this for a little while now, what's a big piece of advice that you would give to yourself when you were first starting? I'm thinking of two things off the top of my head. I think the first one would be, don't be afraid to kind of invest in yourself and invest in this business. It was really hard for me to put the money that I was making back into the business at first, but as soon as I started to, I was like, why not? I mean, I've made this money. At least if you're working if you also have a full-time job, of course. Like if you're doing this as your living, then be more careful with what you're doing with the money that you make. And I've definitely still had some to kind of like pay to myself, but certain things have just made my life so much easier. Like buying the printer, that was kind of a tough decision, but once I bought it, I didn't have to worry about, you know, running to Walmart to get prints done because I have an art show coming up, or you know, this person has a birthday in a week and they ordered a print and paid me for the quicker delivery, and now I have to again run to Walmart or drive across town to my dad's house, which he really got tired of before I bought, which is what I kept doing before I bought the printer. So definitely invest in yourself. The same with the Cricut. That was a tough decision to buy, but I knew that people would want stickers, and as soon as I had the stickers ready, I was just so excited, and it's definitely helped me grow my audience because people just love stickers. So yeah, obviously, you know, be careful with what you buy. Make sure that there's a demand for it before you buy it. But once you know there's a demand, and it might save you a lot of time, that's time cost that you're saving, and that's money that you're saving as well. So definitely, you know, be careful with what you spend, but also don't be afraid to spend it on something that's going to improve your business. The second piece of advice I would give myself is to know my worth. I mean, that's definitely a hard thing to do, but my first price that I charged was like $20, and I felt really bad asking people for that. I think definitely with, you know, the added interest, it helped me be able to raise my price to $25. After that, I raised it to $35 because I was just working like 10 hours a day on portraits, and the $35 was a very big jump. I most recently raised it to $50 after I spoke with a
person who knew a lot more about marketing. Her Instagram is called Hand and Heart. And she gave me a lot of good advice, and one of those was like, you need to raise your prices. And I've definitely been getting less orders, there's less demand, but that also leaves time for, you know, more projects that I'm slightly more interested in besides custom, such as, you know, making little cuter little cartoon themed things, and also making it more worth my while to be dealing with, like, be dealing directly with customers, because it does turn into more than an hour or 2 hours when there are usually edits that I'll be making. So definitely don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth.
In the art community, I'm not an artist, as you very well know. We used to doodle a lot and like paint at your house and everything. You know, I am not an artist, but in terms of knowing your worth and being able to maybe like expand your business more, have you considered maybe hiring someone to help you with your business, or how do you think you maybe want to scale it down the road?
That's a good question. I definitely think, I mean, I don't know, I really like taking care of pretty much every aspect of the business. Like, I love making the stickers. I love, obviously, I don't want to teach someone how to do the portraits because there's a lot of pet portraitists out there, but I haven't seen that many with my exact style, so I definitely want to stay away from teaching anyone that. I guess if I got big enough that I like needed someone to help me with packaging and shipping and things, I mean, Tim, my boyfriend, helps me a lot with that, and he does it for free. So
right.
I would love to need an assistant or something, but I definitely think that's a down the road type of deal.
Okay. And I'm going to end this off with a nice little quick question just to top it all off, and kind of goes with that past question. But where do you see yourself in the next 5, 10, and 20 years?
So in the next 5, I would love Miss Manda pet portraits to be bigger. I'd love, like I said earlier, I would love to be doing some wholesale things, having stuff that I'm selling in, you know, dog boutiques or things like that. These are all things that would help make it a more passive income, because I definitely have other passions in addition to art. In 10 to 20 years, you know me, Asia, like I've loved doing art of all kinds for so long, and I would love to be able to use some of those other talents, like, you know, going beyond just painting pets. Like, I love doing this right now. I love the community that I'm in, but I also really love painting, you know, more classical style paintings, or just doing something that's kind of more I guess creative, just because I wouldn't be working from a photo necessarily.
Right.
But I also I could see myself doing this for a long time and just continuing to think of ways to make art that's more general that other people might like to pick up, in addition to, of course, still doing customs.
Cool. Wow. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Amanda. Seriously, it means a lot to me that like one of my first 5 guests is going to be one of my really good friends. So I'm happy that you were on the podcast, what am I saying? I'm happy you made it onto the YouTube channel, and appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you so much. I'm so honored, honestly.
You guys, again, Amanda is absolutely amazing. I've known her for, how long have we known each other?
Probably since I was in 10th grade and you were in 9th.
Yeah, probably.
But
so we've known each other all throughout high school.
On the bowling team.
Yeah, that's how Amanda and I got to be good friends. But that's gonna wrap up the video for today, you guys. Again, thank you so much to Amanda. It really means a lot to me that not only my friends are going on my channel, but also the fact that they are pursuing their own entrepreneurial gifts as well. I've been to a few of Amanda's art shows. I remember one where we were in like a warehouse in the middle of somewhere, and it was just really cool to be able to see her light up and show off her passion, which is her art. So definitely go ahead and check out her art, you guys. It's gonna all be linked down below in the description box, so you can go check out her Instagram, her website. I know that she always has time for her side hustle, and I know that this is a growing business, so please go ahead, help support her out, and go and shop around and get a custom portrait of your pet. On that note, you guys, thank you so much again. Go ahead, please remember, if you got anything valuable out of this video, go ahead, hit the like button down below, as well as subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you know every time I post twice a week. With that being said, you guys, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Mwah!